Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be Bujin. So, I'm doing a 50 card deck. I know, it's weird, but the thing is, like, this deck is super slow, but you also have you're able to use Potted Desires effectively. You're able to use the Danger Engine without being worried about burning through any of your cards, and then basically all your cards are graveyard reliant. And I'm thinking about putting in some Light Sworn cards because that would probably be the most effective way of using this deck. But right now it's okay the way it is. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So basically the playstyle of this deck is to get your Beast Warrior type monsters on the field, and then use your Bujingi or your animal looking cards to protect your beast warriors, because they have graveyard effects that can really help you. And this deck actually used to be very competitive, and I still think it's a really cool deck, even if it's not as popular as it used to be. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting things off, your best card in the deck, triple copies of Bujin Yamato. Yamato's effect is once per turn during the end phase, you can add one Bujin monster from your deck to your hand, then send one card from your hand to the graveyard. So this can help you selectively mill out cards that you want to use their graveyard effects, because if you have Yamato on the field, then you can activate all of their effects, well, effectively, and then you can then send one to the graveyard, and then you can reuse this effect to help either gain advantage or to help stop your opponent's plays during their turn. So 3 copies of that, 2 copies of Bujin Hermiu. It cannot be normal summoned or sent. Must be special summoned by banishing one Bujin monster from your graveyard, except for Hermiu. Herium? I don't know. If this card which was summoned this way is destroyed by your opponent's card effects and sent to the graveyard, from your side of the field to the graveyard, and both players have a hand, you can discard one card, then your opponent discards one card. So this effect can actually help you in the long run, but the thing is, it's definitely really hard to like get in that kind of situation. But really the only reason I play it is because it's a Beast Warrior. If you can get any of these in your hand at the start of the turn, or be able to go into your Xyz monsters, and you'll be able to go into your combos super easily. 2 copies of Bujin Mazuchi. If one you would be destroyed by battle, you can special summon this from your hand. Then once per turn, if Bujin was sent from your hand to the graveyard while you controlled this face-up card, you can add one Bujin spell or trap from your deck to your hand. This can help search your one-of spell and trap cards, because I don't play a ton of the Bujin spells. I only play 2. And this is a mostly monster-based deck because your monsters are the things that gain you advantage. So it's an okay effect. It helps search it. 1 copy of Arasada. If a Bujin is in your graveyard or face up on your side of the field, banished, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then once per turn during the end phase, if a Bujin card was added from your deck to your hand, you can draw 1 card. Then discard 1 card. So the discard effect is what really matters. You do end up drawing a card. And then for the last Beast Warrior, Bujin Hirko, you can banish this card from your Pendulum Zone, then target 1 Bujin Xyz monster you control, special summon from the extra deck 1 Bujin Xyz monster with a different name, but using the target as Xyz materials. This special summon is treated as an Xyz summon, then attach the Xyz material to that card. Then it doesn't actually have an effect, so It's fine. That is it for your starters. These cards are the ones you always want to see in your hand at least once, and then you have Fire Formation Tenki, which can help search them in such a big deck. So this can really help up your consistency. So basically, you're playing 6 Yamato, then so on and so forth. As long as you end up with at least one of these, but you want to end up with Yamato. Then I play 3 copies of Crane. During damage calculation, if a monster you control battled, you can send this from your graveyard or from your hand to the graveyard, then double the attack. So that's pretty good. It can help you beat over a lot of your cards. Then Hair. All of these have graveyard effects when they're banished. So target one beast warrior monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. So this can really help if you want to stall out, because a lot of your Bujins summon themselves in defense position. So if you really want to, you can stall out if need be. 2 Bujin Turtle. Um, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then when a card or effect is activated, then negate it. So pretty good negation, just in general. You want to see all your Bujingis in your grave. Quillen, target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it for the banish effect. Centipede, target one face-up spell or one spell or trap card your opponent controls, and then destroy it. Sinew, you can gain attack equal to the current attack of your opponent's monster that your card is battling. Peacock can add one from your deck to your hand, which can definitely help, but this is a main phase, and then you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, which can be pretty good. If this is really good because you can use it for stuff like Hear Me and not lose advantage. Then Ophidian allows you to attack directly, so if you could use stuff like Crane or your extra deck monsters can get pretty beefy as well, you can pretty effectively use it. And that is it for the Bujin monsters. It's a pretty long lineup of monsters. This is a very monster heavy deck, considering that most of the cards you play are going to be monsters to up the consistency of the deck. But this is more of a slow grind deck, and it's more of a control fashion because you have cards that help you stall out, to negate, to help you attack, and to get rid of your opponent's cards. So it really helps. Then I play 3 Gamma and 1 Driver, just as the only hand trap of the deck. I figured I'd wanted some negation, and there's a low chance you're going to end up drawing your Driver in this deck, so it works out even better. I was really hoping I would be able to use Ash, but I didn't find enough room in the deck. I was gonna cut out like maybe a Danger, but I thought that the Dangers up the consistency a bit more. Then I play 3 copies of Bigfoot, just because it's Bigfoot for the Danger engine, Bigfoot, 2 Thunderbird, and 1 Jackalope, just to up the consistency and the draw power. I played 2 copies of Pot of Desires. I was playing 3 copies, but I wanted to add in Double or Nothing, so 2 copies is what I went with. If you want to up it to 3 and cut out Double or Nothing, then go ahead. It's a good move. I then play 2 copies of Bujin Regula the Mirror. At the start of the damage, or at main phase, if your opponent controls a monster, more monsters than you do, and you control a beast warrior, then until the end of your opponent's turn, spells, traps, and monster effects cannot be activated. So it's a full-on negate, and it's until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you activate it during your turn, they can't activate monster effects for the rest of that turn, or card effects at all. Then I play 1 copy of Bujin Intervention. It's a card. It helps gain attack, which can help go through monsters, but it's searchable through whatchamacallit. But yeah, 1 copy of that just because it's searchable. 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, just so that I can search my Yamoto if I need to, or any of these. I'd say Yamoto and Hikiro. are the best ones to search out with Tenki. It definitely helps, like, those cards help the consistency of the deck, but one Foolish Burial, if in case you want to selectively send one of your cards, and this, you want to open it, but it's not necessarily needed. One copy of Double or Nothing, just because Double or Nothing's a pretty good card. I play the Utopia Double, just so that I can have a really powerful OTK. And two, Black Garden. So basically, if a monster is normal summoned face up, or special summoned, except by the effect of Black Garden, have the attack, then the controller special summons one rose token to your opponent's side of the field. Then this attack loss remains even if this card leaves the field. You can target one monster in your graveyard with equal attack to the total attack of the monster. Then destroy this card and as many plant monsters. Then if you destroyed them all, special summon that target. This can help summon from the graveyard. Sorry, it's a long card text. And that is it for the main deck. It really needs a consistency boost, and you can't run cards like Pot of Avarice because you can't use it because you banish all your cards to gain effects. So it's kind of a glass cannon here because you don't have a ton of consistency, but you do have like really powerful plays when you get to your boards, which can really help, but it's kind of a risky move. So for the extra deck, I play 3 copies of Bujin T Susanoo. This card can attack all your opponent's monsters once. Then, once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material, take one Bujin card from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So this can, since it can attack all your monsters, let's say you have like a Crane in your hand. Crane isn't once per turn, so you can double the attack twice. Because you can send one with Susanoo, or add one with Susanoo, then send the one you have in your hand, which can double its attack, then double it again to almost 10,000, which is really good. Then I play 2 copies of Kagatushi. This can help mill cards. Also, this card gains 100 attack for each Bujin card sent by the effect. And then if a Bujin would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can detach one Xyz material from this card instead of destroying the monster. So this card has a really good effect, just milling. This is kind of just a better Lightsworn effect, which too bad it can't be played in Lightsworns because it requires Beast Warrior. I mean, there's a few Beast Warriors in Lightsworn, but not enough. It technically could if you use like Wolford and stuff, but a pretty good effect. It can help mill your card so that you have 5 effects, and then it could gain 500 attack. Then I play 2 copies of Bujinki Emostresu. Basically, it's special summon a banished or target one of your banished level 4 monsters and add it to your hand. So you can special summon back a Yamoto, or you can add back a Crane, which could really help your plays. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Tornado Dragon, just generic. 1 Bujingi Tsukanomi. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material, discard your entire hand, and if you do, draw 2 cards. So this can help, just if you have a hand full of these and you have one of these on the field, you can up the consistency of the deck by just tossing it all and then drawing 2 cards, because that can really help if you don't have like a Yamoto in your hand and you have a bunch of these on the field, or in your hand. 1 Abyss Dweller, because generic. 1 Tornado Dragon, because generic. Utopia Engine for OTK purposes, because the problem is this deck is, again, a slow grind deck, so you can OTK really well, but there's always going to be situations where you're going to get stuck, and you're not going to be able to do much, so then you just go into your rank 4 and call it a day. Then 1 Bujingi Sashima, just because it's the Link monster. Then one Nightmare Phoenix and one Nightmare Unicorn, just because generic spot removal. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. I'd say this deck is pretty good. If not, it lacks a bit of consistency, but you can run triple pot of desires in this deck to up it. Plus, this deck thrives off of sending cards to the graveyard, so it can really help. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you think I should change about this deck. I find it really cool that if Infernoble Knights tries to hand loop you, you can actually gain advantage off of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.